Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We have paged Dr. Paul and we brought him all the way up to our balcony, our new setting,
really nice.
Which would be wonderful if we are under pure sunshine and a wonderful summer day. But when that comes and that season hits, there are a lot of different medical issues that you see, that you see in the emergency rooms and that you want people to know about.
Yeah, well, the first thing is sun safety, and even though it's cloudy, you can still get sunburn, believe it or not, especially during July and August. And people don't realize that the sun peaks between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. and so we need to be able to be cognizant of that. And obviously why you want to do that is because the more a child is exposed to the UV rays, the higher the chances of getting skin cancer later on in his or her life. And so what we want to do, just a quick thing, is make sure that you're aware of that, make sure that you use sunscreen. I prefer 30 SPF sunscreen, and the other thing is that there's no magic waterproof sunscreen. That's what I wanted to get a point across today. You need to apply it every couple of hours, swimming or not, because it'll wear off. And you also need to put it a half an hour before the child goes out.
Now you were just mentioning 30. I know when I'm shopping for sunscreens and I look for anything that has the kids, usually it's about 50 and 60.
Yeah.
Should we be concerned with that, or once we get to that 30?
No, I'm not. 30 is fine. 30 is fine. 30 will protect you. And the other thing too is in younger kids who you don't want to put a sunscreen on, like young babies, a hat obviously is very important, or a bonnet. And don't wear the hat like a baseball catcher's hat.
It's not
with the bill forward. That's the reason you want to protect you.
Sunscreen is one thing. Keep in mind the peak hours between 11 and 2 when the sun is at its strongest. Okay, so we're going from sun to water?
To water, yeah. The other thing too is, water, or, swimming's around the corner. A lot of the pools are open, public pools are open, beaches are open. Again, one thing I want to stress is that we've already had a death in our Prescott-Russell area of a baby drowning in a pool, unfortunately. The most important thing we can do is never leave children alone. Never rely on swimming lessons. Always supervise children, and that goes for swimming pools, lakes, beaches, even bathrooms and toilets. Children can drown in that. So it's quite important to always have them supervised. And the important thing is never to rely. Oh, my child has had swimming lessons. Currents and all these things can come and really change your life literally in a couple of seconds.
When you're looking at, older children, absolutely, but even I'd understanding with the little wading pools, in terms of the younger babies, that it doesn't take much water.
Children can drown in a couple of inches of water, believe it or not. And so any time there's water, whatever the source is, please be careful.
Second, the third one we want to get to is mosquitoes.
That's right. That's right.
Right now, I have actually scientifically figured out that there's something in my blood that attracts the mosquitoes. I am people's bug repellent. Put me in a room and no one else will get bit except for me.
Well, I think the most important thing we want to talk about that is because we know that mosquitoes can transmit West Nile virus. They're also a nuisance as well. And so what we want to tell people as well is, again, be aware of when the mosquitoes are highest. Dawn and dusk is the highest period. Use a repellent, a DEET repellent, which is quite important. And also, you can wear clothing. Be logical about it. You can wear long sleeves. Avoid dark clothing, believe it or not, because dark clothing attracts mosquitoes as compared to light clothing. And so just be careful of those things. In younger babies who you don't want to put DEET on, obviously, you could have mosquito nettings now. You can put them on playpens. You can put them on strollers and so on. So just be aware of that. If you're going out in the bush, make sure that you protect yourself. And by the way, protecting yourself with DEET also protects yourself against tick bites as well, which also carry Lyme disease. So just be careful. Enjoy it, but just be careful.
When we are spraying ourselves and we're kind of going through everything with DEET, do you want to get that off of you? Like once you're out of that,
well, it's a good idea.
Is there some toxic aspects
there are some toxic aspects. Obviously, the dosages that we're giving are quite low, but the thing is that I always recommend, take a shower afterwards. But in most situations, it'll probably wear off with the sweat, or you'll swim, it'll come off. But just be careful. So it's not only the DEET, it's understanding when and how to do it. And the other thing I'd like to say is sometimes children react more to a mosquito bite than adults do. And it doesn't mean the child's going to be allergic to bee stings or anything like that. Those insect bites are very common, especially in children who are prone to allergies. So all you need to do is treat it with local compresses. And don't worry about the fact that it's a bigger reaction. Yeah, because children tend to have a sort of what I call a hyperactive immune system.
Okay, interesting information. Sun, water, mosquitoes, and we are just starting into that season, so I'm sure over the next couple of weeks we'll be hitting on another of those hot topics. Thanks. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure.